Alafia, everyone. It is Kiara with Key Readings. Today with another Reluctant Hero Tarot reading. Today we are going to be covering the fear of making mistakes. The fear of making mistakes is something that is kind of showing a bit of being out of touch with just the reality of the human experience. We're going to make mistakes as a part of life. It also comes from an overestimation of the impact of these mistakes. A lot of times we overcritique ourselves with the mistakes that we make and can believe that it's the end all be all of whatever we're attempting to do if we make one single mistake, if we're not completely perfect. So let's get into the reading. The first question that we're asking is, how does the fear of making mistakes manifest for us as the collective? And for that, we have, look, it's our friend again, the Seven of Wands in reverse. And it's kind of coming from the same base as the previous reading. We were talking about the fear of rejection. We are so stuck in feeling like we have to bat any kind of potential mistake, any kind of potential derailment. If things are not completely perfect within ourselves and within whatever it is that we're attempting, then it is just a wash. We can't fathom the fact that the mistakes are actually part of the learning process, the part of the growing process that is going to help us to actually get to the next level, reach our goals, and gain the wisdom and experience necessary to be the highest possible potential for ourselves. We also have the Nine of Cups in reverse, and the Nine of Cups is really talking about the fear that if we make a mistake, that everything that we worked for is just going to be taken away from us, that we are going to lose not only materially, but we'll lose the energy that we put into whatever we're working on, and we'll have to deal with the emotional damage that comes with making a mistake and having to deal with the consequences of that mistake. And it's just talking about this disconnect between the fact that mistakes and missteps are often the most important part of the learning experience and of the growing experience. How does the fear of making mistakes derail us from our path? Let's see. For that, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is really talking about how overthinking can stop us dead in our tracks. We're so bogged down by the thoughts that are recurring in our minds that is critiquing every move that we make, making sure that we are trying to be perfect at all times. Trying to come across as flawless is eventually going to just stop us dead. It is going to put undue stress and pressure on us that in actuality is not coming from any other source but our own ego and our own sense of self that we feel like we have to project onto other people. It is just going to make us burn out and can even rob us of the love and the initial vision that we have for whatever it is that we're working on. How can we begin to manage and overcome the fear of making mistakes? For that, we have the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is really telling us to stop for a moment in the thought process that we're having and imagine, what if things went perfectly? But even beyond that, it is asking us to look at every step and every event on our path to fulfillment as an opportunity to learn something new and as an opportunity to gain more knowledge and wisdom that we can wield and use to further our goals and not only assist ourselves, but be able to share that wisdom with other people so that they can benefit from it. We also have the Empress in reverse, and it is asking us to evaluate within ourselves. Are we existing in this Empress energy? That is, are we nurturing ourselves? Are we nurturing our curiosity? Just like a mother would a baby, allow them to make mistakes so that they may learn. Are we nurturing that within our own inner child? Oftentimes, the fear of making mistakes can come from childhood and how the adults around us may have reacted when we made mistakes. It can really impact us in the long run in believing that, again, overestimating the impact of mistakes. So it's up to us to kind of reparent ourselves in a more nurturing way and a more compassionate way of how we look at mistakes and how we approach correcting ourselves so that we can still be encouraged and still have the vigor and same passion for what it is that we're pursuing. What is the immediate next step for us on our path to fulfillment in overcoming and managing the fear of making mistakes? And for that, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Cups is asking us to take away the emotional over-attachment to what it is that we're pursuing. It's a little complicated to say that, right? Because we put so much of ourselves and so much feeling into what it is that we are working on and working towards that it can be hard sometimes for us to detach. It seems like it's something that we shouldn't detach from if it's something that we're working on. But emotionally, if you are able to step back and view your process a little bit more objectively, then you are able to actually better welcome in and learn from the mistakes because you're not attaching your emotional stability to them. Instead, you are focusing on what is happening in the material so that you can protect your emotional state and still grow and improve when you are faced with a knockback, a disadvantage, a mistake that you have to recover from. And we also have the Justice in reverse. You need to evaluate the core values and systems that you have in place in your mind in order to understand why it is that you have such a hard time dealing with mistakes and why you may overly judge yourself for making mistakes and dish out a much harsher punishment to yourself than what is actually necessary or equal to the mistake that you made. It's important to get to the root of where these values came from, why we believe that we need to react this way or feel this way about mistakes that we made, so that we can start to create a new value system and a new system of beliefs that guide us on how we approach and deal with mistakes and the consequences of them. If we are able to master the way that we use mistakes in our life experience, the way that we bring them into our environment, the way that we welcome them into our psyche as a way of learning, then we are able to have a much better sense of justice, a sense of self, and a much more balanced approach overall to whatever it is that we are pursuing. To close it out, I want to pull a card from the Angel Tarot as a kind of oracle. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, vision. As long as we are committed to the vision that we have initially, then the mistakes that we make along the way are just opportunities for us to fine tune what it is that we are looking for. And from the Moonology Tarot, or the Moonology Oracle, we have Mutable Moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. Nothing is yet set in stone. When you give life the opportunity to shift and grow and change, then you are able to move into spaces and vibrations that may not have been open to you if you had not been open to learning from the mistakes that we make. Thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope and I pray that it is received into yourself, that it is beneficial and helps you to grow and get to the next level of your life. If you would like a personal version of this reading, you can book with me at kireadings.square.site. That's kireadings.square.site. It is in the description box below. And I really pray that, like I said, that this is beneficial to you and that the whole series overall is beneficial. We have 2 more topics to cover, and then we'll be done with the series, and we can start using the tarot to look into different areas of our life. If you enjoyed this video, if it resonated with you, please leave a like, a comment, share it with other people that you think that it would benefit, and feel free to subscribe to me because it would really help me to reach more people that we can serve and grow an even stronger and better community. Abodu Oboye Aboshishe, and blessings to everyone.